Hi, I'm Jessica Lahr, and welcome to another edition of FLX Weekly here in the FingerLakes1.com studio. It is January 25th, 2017, and I'm joined here with Jim Sinicropi, Josh Durso, and Jessamy Uticone. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Jess. Thanks for having me.
And me.
Once a week inside the studio. So how about that storm that we never seem to get?
Yeah, we were predicting, Drew Montrell and other meteorologists were predicting 6 to maybe 10 inches.
I heard up to 12.
Yeah,
7 to 12 inches was the original forecast. They scaled it back a little bit, got it down to 6 to 10, but across the board, they all predicted it.
I
The
know.
whole area. The National
I was
Weather
hoping.
Service predicted it also. So, I mean,
There's caveats there.
yeah.
Didn't they say if the weather gets warmer?
Yeah,
Right.
people
Prior to the
get
storm.
really mad because they predict a storm and then it doesn't come. I was actually glad I didn't have to shovel.
Right.
But
Yeah, that's a plus.
but you need to read behind the headline, and you'll see that Drew Montrell of FLX Weather actually, if you read the article, said this: if the temperature just rises 1 or 2 degrees at the onset of this event, there'll be much less snow because it will fall as rain or freezing
Oh.
rain. And sure enough, I went outside Tuesday evening and I was like, it's raining right now.
raining,
You know,
yeah.
it's drizzling and not snowing.
You've done it again,
Oh.
old Drew.
So I mean that's Drew's gives his no hype forecast.
He
He's,
does.
Yeah, I
he's known
like
for
that.
no hype. You know,
Yeah, but-
maybe we might hype it a little bit on the front page of Finger Lakes One because everybody loves a winter storm, or it draws the eyeballs to the site.
Well, I think the other thing, too,
Ah,
is
clickbait.
Yeah,
isn't-
well, not clickbait
it isn't,
because
though,
it,
because we're just in a headline. You have to put whatever the lead is. So
Right.
I mean, it just is what it is,
Right.
and by nature of the stories that impact the most people, they're the ones that find the top of FingerLakes1.com because we cover a large area. So stories like weather that impact every single person who lives in the Finger Lakes, assuming you don't live under a rock,
Yeah.
you know, you're
well, if
it
you live
matters.
under a rock,
Yeah.
you're going to be especially concerned about the weather
Yeah,
because
you-
it'll be very
It's
cold.
going to affect you directly.
the cold would be, but snow would be great. If I lived under a rock, I wouldn't even worry about
You can't
snow
stop
at
at the
all.
headline is the point. You got to read the article, and
Read
there's
the story.
subtleties there.
Right.
It's-
Okay.
It's like Chuck D and Flavor Flav said.
Read the stories. That's why we
Don't
write 'em.
believe the hype.
Well, my son wore his pajamas backwards so that he could have a snow day, and it didn't happen. He was
Oh,
pretty
that's a
disappointed.
thing. That's like a superstitious thing.
Yeah, I think they say that and flush ice cubes down the toilet or something
Wait,
like
what's
that.
happening? For a snow day, you wear clothes
Are
backwards?
you some
Your
sort of
pajamas.
you some sort of like closet witch?
Yeah, are you
Flushing ice cubes down the toilet?
That's what he came home and said. Teacher said that if we wear our pajamas backwards, we might just have a snow day if we all wear our
That's a
pajamas
teacher
backwards
playing
at
a
night.
cruel joke on the children, laughing it up at home.
That's
But it didn't happen.
Well, they did have snow days in Dundee and Penn Yan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
South
Some
of-
areas were hit a
Prattsburg,
little harder than
downtown.
others. But yeah, if it was a few degrees colder, we would have had 6 to 10 inches of snow. But it
Easily.
wasn't.
Wasn't
Yep.
the case.
And next time there's a forecast for the potential of a foot of snow, the headline will read, "Foot of snow possible for Finger Lakes overnight," or
Right.
whatever.
right.
You know, 'cause-
Well,
'Cause
it's
that's
funny
what it
because
is.
we had that storm in November that came out of nowhere. So then here we are, and we're expecting it, and it just didn't come. So
Well, and that's the other thing too. Like if they called for 7 inches of snow, and we got 6.5 inches of snow, or someone walked out into their backyard and only saw 6 inches of snow, they would have been hammering on us saying, you know, you overhyped it, you this, you that, the other thing.
Underhyped it.
You know, it's just no matter what, it's a no-win situation.
From now on, every top story on Finger Lakes One, the headline is going to be "Boy trapped in refrigerator eats own foot,"
Yep.
Yep.
That's it.
That's
and that'll
That's
keep us
terrible.
covered.
yeah.
that's terrible. Oh, all right. Well, we're we're counting down to Del Lago opening. I know I was there yesterday. It's huge. I don't know if you've been there.
Were you
recently.
in-
Were you
an-
inside?
I went in. I had to go through the back, but yes,
Oh.
I was inside. But I didn't get to see.
You didn't go to like the gaming floor?
No,
Were you in the Vine, the entertainment center, the concert hall?
no. I was just in the back offices. I had a fitting there and
Oh.
had to do some stuff.
The countdown's on 6 days. This has been anticipated for years. And in 6
Yep.
days, the doors open. Of course, Josh, we're going to be there for the grand opening.
Sure will be.
we haven't determined exactly in what capacity. Probably some sort of live broadcast from out there, and then post videos and photos and news. And it's really exciting to think. And then right after it opens, there's all sorts of national musical and comedy acts
Oh my
coming.
gosh, I know.
Yeah.
I just saw Boys to Men.
Oh, see, there's another one excited about Boys
Yeah.
to Men.
I know. I didn't know they were coming, and I went to the website.
Yep.
Ooh, okay.
Trace Adkins just announced a couple days
That's
ago.
probably
Yes,
the biggest
that's
name, right?
huge.
The biggest
Yep.
act yet.
Jana Kramer, another country star.
There's quite a few. Yep.
Good
so
spread.
it's
Do you
exciting.
think that, I mean, they have Flo Rida and they have some other
Yeah.
acts like Bad Company and Night Ranger and Bret Michaels, but do you think, but even those are kind of like classic Rocky, almost trending country in a way. I mean, do you think it's going to be like more country than anything out there? Because
I think so.
Because
yeah,
of
Flo Rida hasn't sold out yet, but the other shows, a lot of the other shows have.
Well, I think that's the demographics. Look at CMAC. CMAC has,
Yes.
I mean, they
Lot
do a
of
Darien
country.
Lake-esque country lineup every single year, and it kills. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's just the nature of, here we are in the Finger Lakes, in the
Right.
middle of nowhere, and
Right.
people like country music.
Favorite country song?
Oh my gosh. I couldn't come up with that.
As long as nobody
Fast
says
Enough for You
"Achy
by Dwight
Breaky
Yoakam.
Heart."
Achy Breaky Heart. I would probably go The Gambler by Kenny Rogers or Coward of the County by Kenny
Fast
Rogers.
as You.
I
Howard
can't
the
even-
County is a good song.
The Gatlin Boys came calling. That song's about rape,
So-
actually.
Oh,
That is
geez,
a
that's
totally
terrible.
different. You're talking about a totally different brand of country music, though. Country music today is not what it was.
I like
30
Randy
years ago.
Travis.
Yeah.
I like all of Randy Travis. I
all
like
the
Dwight
Travises. Travis Tritt, Randy Travis.
Dwight Yoakam.
Dwight
Travis
Yoakam,
Tritt.
sure.
Here's a quarter. Call someone who cares.
90s, early 90s,
Whiskey
early
ain't
to mid
working.
90s country. Is
Garth
the
Brooks. Anything from Garth Brooks, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
Tim McGraw, Keith Urban.
yeah, see, that came after I stopped like
Yeah.
really paying attention. to
Keith
country.
Urban, I would say, I would put him in like a top 5. Like if I had to create a dream lineup for a concert.
Dude's
of some sort.
Australian though. Like he's not even like a.
Josh's
Yeah,
dream
but that's
country
even
lineup.
that's even more
just
impressive. That if
saying.
you're Australian and you can pull off a solid country singing accent
I'm just saying.
and dominate,
He's just
he's been around for like what, 20 years, ish,
Yeah.
something like that. I
All
mean,
right.
it's impressive.
I love him. He's
Impressive.
good.
Wow.
That's a tough question, though.
But anyway, it's going to be great. It's going to
Yep.
open, and the whole landscape of things up here in northern Seneca County is going to change. I mean, some people are going to go there. You're going to see them there, like all the time, and be like, "Man, that guy's got a gambling problem."
Oh, no.
You know, you're going to be going to dinner out there, and these national acts, and it's just going to be interesting to see how
It is.
day-to-day life changes. Probably not too much if you don't go out there,
Right.
because it's kind of isolated. But
Just far
That's
enough
what's
out.
nice about it.
Yeah,
I think
but-
it's
But
great.
you've done great coverage. Finger Lakes One has really covered from
I agree.
beginning to beginning.
yeah, we
I mean, it's really exciting to have been.
We were
part of
all
the journey
over the
watching.
process of
Yeah.
who was going to get the casinos. We live streamed the actual announcement. I remember sitting here in the studio during that live stream when they announced that Tire was being awarded. It was like
Yeah.
unbelievable. And then since then, we've had every member of their executive team up here in studio, and we've done
Yeah.
tours inside.
Mhm.
And we'll continue to cover it right up until it launches, and then I guess we'll continue to cover it after.
Yeah.
Like our coverage of Del Lago won't end on
But
Wednesday.
the
No.
coverage then will change, because then it's going to, this big story after they open is going to be what else happens out there, what else grows.
Sure,
because
man wins $50,000
Yeah.
on slot machine.
The Seneca County Chamber
Eats
of
own
Commerce is
foot.
looking to go. Why? It's always eating your own foot.
It's
Why?
from Airplane,
Yeah.
the movie Airplane.
Really?
Have you ever seen it?
Boy,
Never
tractor
seen it.
and
See,
refrigerator
that's
eats own
amazing.
foot.
How many like standard classic movies someone in Josh's age demographic has never seen. Airplane is a must see.
Leslie
I just
Nielsen.
don't watch movies. There are probably a lot of other 26-year-olds who have seen that movie.
Surely you must have seen it. And
Don't
stop
call me
calling me Shirley. All right.
All right. Well, what does this weekend look like for weather, Jim? Because last weekend I didn't get my outside decorations down, thinking I was going to have a nice day on Monday, and then that didn't happen. So.
Good grief, you're still
This
working.
Should've done it
weekend is
Saturday.
plain Jane weather. This weekend, you're going to have like a 30 to 40% chance of snow showers every single day. Highs somewhere between 30 and 35. Overnight lows in the mid 20s. I mean, it's going to be an uneventful, kind of quiet, not good or bad
That's
weather weekend here in the Finger Lakes. But it can be changeable, so don't get mad.
Yeah.
You know, if it's 28 degrees instead of 30, like I said. If you want the latest details, go to our weather center on our homepage.
Awesome. Okay, sounds
That's
good.
up to the moment.
Not good, not bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you go there.
Yeah, live radar and everything.
Well, if we're going to talk about weather, I can just go right into the news because this
Okay.
past weekend, they had some awesome weather for the Women March in Seneca Falls.
Oh
was-
my
what a
gosh.
day.
Perfect.
Was that not incredible?
So perfect.
It's awesome. It was awesome to see as many people show up in Seneca Falls for an event like that. Now, there's been some debate about the numbers.
That's what I was going to ask.
Some people say 10,000. Some people have said 12,000. Some have said 6,000 or 8,000. Others have even said a few thousand. Although I think they might have been living under a rock if
Yeah,
you're
right.
saying a few thousand people were there.
Wow.
An incredible event. People from all over the place. The number of out-of-state plates that I saw while we were there covering it, we had some pretty intense coverage of this. Although we were not able to live stream it as we had hoped.
No.
As it turns out, when you put several thousand people in a tight space,
10 to
town?
12,000. I don't,
Yeah.
people got mad at us because people always get mad at Finger Lakes One.
People are getting mad.
There wasn't 10,000 people there, they said, and I'm telling you that there was, and scientifically counted it during the march. When certain number of people marching went a certain distance on the road,
Yeah.
I counted how many people that was and how long it took them, and then multiplied that, and it was easily over 10,000. I think 10,000 is conservative. I think it was closer to 12,000.
My father-in-law said 10,000, he thought.
Yeah,
This
well-
year he's like, with my eyeballs, I think it might have been about 10,000 people. So
Uncles are really trustworthy about that kind of thing. Eyeballing numbers.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, I said, really? That sounds like a lot. So I'm happy to hear that that's what you came up with.
people
I'll
get
have
mad.
to tell him. He'll be proud.
When you give a figure
Well-
like that, people just want to disparage it right away.
okay, so I think part of that was if that were It's a Wonderful Life weekend,
Yeah.
and we said 10,000 people were there,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have heard
Absolutely.
any opposition whatsoever. But because there were political
Right.
forces at play in this, and it happened during the weekend during the inauguration weekend, I think it was just sort of a accumulation of events.
Well, crowd sizes were a
Everyone
big
was
issue
very
on that
emotional.
weekend. I don't know if you're familiar, but you can just give any number you want.
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, here's the big takeaway from this. It was an awesome weekend for Seneca Falls.
Yeah.
Because for how long have we been sitting up here and people have been sitting in Seneca Falls saying, we need to be the hub for women's rights,
Right.
everything. I don't care if it's a picnic, a march, or
Yeah.
a Hall of Fame induction. This has to be the hub. And it's the only place in the world that has the distinction of being the birthplace.
Right.
And it's absolutely crazy not to take advantage of that. The businesses in downtown Seneca Falls, the restaurants,
And Saturday
We're
killed
thriving.
it. They killed
Yeah,
it.
that's
Saturday afternoon.
amazing. That's so awesome.
They killed it.
So that was the big news story of the week. We invested a lot of time and energy in
On a
making sure-
Saturday.
on a Saturday, covering that event.
But apologies that the live stream failed. All the testing. The thing that I didn't understand is we had a private connection, a private wireless connection to a router in a building next door that had plenty of bandwidth. And since it was private, I thought all the cell phones and stuff wouldn't affect it at all. We'd have our path out. But it was the infrastructure behind the routers and stuff. It was like the backbone of the local internet was
Yeah.
clogged.
Yeah,
Wow.
And so, nobody was getting out there for a few hours
flood.
That's
from
wild.
about 9:30 to about 1 o'clock. Probably it was like no internet here.
Yeah, and if you
Crazy
saw
these
the
days.
if you
To
saw
imagine.
the pictures of how many people were just amassed in different parts of, take the march right out of the equation. When they got to the church,
Yep.
I mean, the
Right.
pictures from the church when everyone first got to that to me really showed the scope of how many people were there.
I wish I could have been there. I'm sure it would have been very moving just to see.
I don't know if I was moved. Without getting political about it, I was just pleased to see
Right.
that Seneca Falls is so relevant in so many people's minds when it comes to something like this, that's where they were going to go for this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it makes me proud, and probably the coolest thing for me for the whole thing, because Josh, you were at the beginning, I was at the end.
Yep.
As soon as everybody arrived after the march into the back lot of the Presbyterian Church and points everywhere around it, just 10,000 to 12,000 people. They played on the Jumbotron the Hillary's speech during the 150th anniversary in 1998 of the first women's rights convention when she came to Seneca Falls, and it was a great speech, and it was from almost 20 years ago now.
Yep.
And
that's
to look at
wild.
her then, and to all the way everything she's gone through to this presidential election, it was, and everybody that was there was watching the speech as if she was giving it live, and it was still relevant 20 years
A lot of
later.
those people were probably at that speech then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I was.
My wife was,
Yep.
you know.
So anyways,
Neat.
it was a good day for Seneca Falls.
Yeah. Yep. The weather couldn't have been any perfect for it. That's
right.
for sure.
The weather, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's nice there.
That's how I segued that.
Yeah.
That's how we do
it
it.
was perfect. Well, let's take a look at our top local photos because we had some different weather, from warm weather to foggy to snowy, all in one week. Well, really in this past several days. So, this photo coming up first by Josh was
Our own
taken
Josh?
on our own Josh was taken
Wow.
on Saturday, an unseasonably warm day shortly before the Women March in Seneca Falls got underway.
I didn't realize that was going to make the cut. I didn't
photograph
even.
on Instagram, Josh.
Oh,
That's right.
not a
You did
cloud
heart
in
it.
the sky or a ripple in the canal as the high temperature rose all the way up to 54 degrees.
Love it.
All right, the thaw was in full swing this weekend, and Rachel Burkholder was at Teganic Falls State Park and saw many trying to get outside and enjoy the weather.
Nice.
I should just point out, everyone should go find her on Facebook and follow her because she posts some incredible pictures
She
to
does.
Facebook, many of which you don't see.
Instagram as well.
Instagram.
Instagram too.
Yep. It was hard for Shelley Landon to pass up this photo as the fog weighed heavily against the trees at Clifton Springs Country Club. Wow, that is such a cool shot.
Pretty sure that's an apple tree on the second hole, the left rough of the second hole at Clifton Springs. When I golf there, I like to take an apple off and have a snack. Yeah, it's like a nice bonus, when you find a nice fruit tree.
Yeah, on the course. That's
Yeah.
great.
Free snacks. Love it. The fog was lifting on Sunday morning, another mild day for Sally Mannion's walk along the north shore of Seneca Lake
Like
in
that
Geneva. That is super cool.
Yeah, I like how the tops of the trees form that little. It's like you don't know exactly where that is. That's Seneca Lake. We know
Yeah.
that, but it could be anywhere. It could be Scotland,
Could
That
be.
is so
or it
cool.
could be, northeastern China.
Could
Yeah.
be.
All right, a few ice fishermen dared the thinning ice on Sodas Bay Saturday morning while the fog set heavily upon the ice. Others took a safer route, as seen in this photo by Chris Trine, and sat on the docks where open water offered easier access.
I don't see any open
That's
water.
where I'd be.
They're just casting off onto the ice from the dock.
Just onto the top of it.
Yeah.
All right, next up from Abby Buddington, who was at the Women March in Seneca Falls on Saturday morning. This panoramic photo is taken from the porch of a home across the street from the National Park headquarters where the march began.
Wow.
That doesn't say a lot of people. I don't know what does. That's a great
awesome.
shot.
Yep.
That's a lot of people.
That is awesome.
All right, Rachel was back at Teganic on Sunday. She reports that there were lots of people enjoying the outdoors at Teganic Falls State Park, and this shot is from the lookout in the late afternoon.
It's a
Beautiful.
shot we see a lot of,
Sure.
but it never gets old.
It never gets old, ever. No. Mike Sargent snapped this image of Squaw Island on Canandaigua Lake as it appeared through the heavy fog on Sunday morning. That is really
That picture's spectacular.
cool. Really cool.
Yep.
It's intriguing. It brings you in.
It is intriguing. I imagine a cartoon ghost ship
Yeah, there you
floating
go.
around there, followed closely by Scooby-Doo and his gang of teens.
Nancy Albright sent us this one as the warm January sun sneaks a peek in the town of Milo on Sunday.
Down in Yates County.
Yeah, Milo.
Yeah,
Now that looks to me like a late October day, not a January.
it sure
day.
does. Yeah. If there were just a little bit more, leaves on the trees.
Yeah.
Yep. The White Ducks were out and about on Oak Island in Waterloo on Tuesday afternoon. This shot from Diane Durso while it was still snowing. Oh.
Look at that guy or gal.
Affleck.
Cute. The snow made everything look beautiful as it was softly falling Tuesday afternoon. This photo, also by Diane, was taken at Seneca Lake State Park. That is
yes.
beautiful. There's something to be said
Is
about
that?
the snow on the
is
bare
it-
trees.
I think I might have swept out the wrong photo.
Yeah, you put the wrong. That isn't at
Oh,
Seneca
no.
Lake.
That's in Phelps
Yeah,
by
that's the one in
another
Phelps.
individual.
Oh no!
Do you remember the name?
I can't remember the name.
Well, I'm sure we'll get a message about it.
Yeah, we're surely going to get an upset message on this
No,
one.
I'm going to tell you who it's by. It's by Patrick Costello.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you,
That's
Patrick.
Camp Dittner in Phelps.
That's
Yes.
Looking very peaceful yesterday afternoon with the heavy snowfall.
Yes.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That picture. We just put that picture up this morning. I think that might be the reason for the
thank you,
confusion.
Patrick.
So, starting this week, we're going to pick our favorite of the
Oh,
week,
boy.
the photo of the week. We got to come to a consensus. Which one do you guys think?
I'm gonna go with.
First,
You
real
have
quick,
to
there's
come to a
that one by
consensus.
Diane. Let's get that one in
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, that's gorgeous.
there. Yep.
Beautiful, Diane.
Okay. So
Okay.
now,
They've all been represented.
yeah, where there's 13 to choose from this week. I got my favorite.
I have my favorite. Too.
My personal. I'll go
you can't vote
first.
for yourself, Josh.
I'm not going to vote for myself. I'm a sucker for snow. Mr. Costello's photograph that we showed there at the end.
Okay.
Oh.
To me, that's number one.
Really?
What do you guys think? If there's a tie, I'll break it.
Mine was the fog, Squaw Island.
Squaw Island
Island.
Fog. I was gonna go with that one too. So
So that's probably
the
going to
winner.
be it. I was actually going to go with Sally Mannion's, but I wasn't sold. There's really about 6 of them that I could
I
have.
think the ice fishing photo on the dock by Chris Trinan is really good too. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for
That'd
this
be my
week,
runner-up.
it's got to be Mike Sargent and the old bang.
Woohoo! Look at that.
Squaw Island photo is our photo of the week.
our
on,
graphics department really went to town on that.
Yep.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you all for sending in your photos. If you'd like to send in your photos from across the region, please commit.
Wow.
Do it,
Click.
No
Please
commitment
commit
required.
and click submit at the submit content section at the bottom of our homepage. Let me spit that one out.
You got
Okay,
it.
we're way behind now.
Yeah.
I know. Can we zip through some upcoming
Yeah,
events
6 minutes,
this weekend?
Jessamy and I got to get through our segment.
Oh, I can do this. There's no problem. Here, listen, on Friday, January 27th at 6 p.m. at the Gould Hotel, they're having a murder mystery dinner theater
Ooh.
performance. It's pretty cool.
They sound fun.
The Acme Mystery Company presents Deadly Inheritance, probably staged on that island.
Acme, huh? Is it Wile E. Coyote?
I believe it's Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner both. The matriarch of a wealth. I'm not going to read you what it's all about, but it's a murder mystery dinner. Ticket prices are $45. That includes show admission and a family-style dinner, and of course, they want you to know that tax and gratuity is included because that's how
That's great.
people need that.
Yep.
That's you get fresh salad, bacon wrap, stuffed chicken breast, homestyle meatloaf, ratatouille, mashed potatoes, snow peas, and butter, and a house-made flourless chocolate cake.
Ratatouille.
Guests are seated at tables of 8 to 10 people. Parties of 2 to 6 may be combined with others to promote conversation and mystery solving.
Awesome.
So that's a mystery dinner. If they also have a guest room package that night, if you want to stay, it's $100, $99 plus tax. Spend the night in one of their rooms.
nice.
That'd be fun, I think.
Yeah.
That's on Friday again at 6 at the Gould Hotel here in Seneca Falls. Beautiful Seneca Falls.
Yeah.
On Saturday, it's Finger Lakes Mall's first family fun day of the year with the Paw Patrol.
Oh.
From 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you can join Marshall, Chase, and Sky. Those are some of the pups on the show.
Yes, of
at the
course.
Finger Lakes Mall. They're Canadians, these dogs, by the way.
Oh. I
I
didn't
found
know
that out, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be
Paw
appearing
Patrol.
from 2 to 3:30. So the dogs aren't there the whole time, the Paw Patrol. They're only patrolling for an hour and a half of the 2 hours. But also there, DJ Toby Toon. There's a bounce house, possibly shaped like a doghouse. I can't confirm that. And it's a free event open to the public.
Awesome.
So Auburn Mall,
The theme
Finger
song's
Lakes
in my
Mall,
head now.
Finger Lakes Mall, 2 to 4 on Saturday.
Yes.
One more thing on Saturday, the 9th annual Strike Away Cancer Bowling Tournament at Sunset Bowl in
Awesome.
Geneva. 1:30. Roll into Sunset Bowl, I wrote. Roll into Sunset Bowl at 1:30 to participate in this 5-person no-tap bowling tournament. All proceeds to benefit cancer research. That's $40 per person. It includes 3 bowling games, shoes, soda, pizza, and wings. There's awesome raffles for over 50 items, and there'll be a 50-50 as well, if you're into that kind of
Alright.
thing. And again,
Fun.
that's Saturday at 1:30 at Sunset Bowl in Geneva. Roll into it.
Great.
Nice.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
No problem.
Sports Gym. What's going on?
Okay, we want to talk sports real quickly here. First of all, Friday night, live on Finger Lakes 1, you have the Wayne Eagles playing the Miners Blue Devils. They're 1 and 2 on our power rankings. They're both Miners has a 1.5 game lead over Wayne in the Finger Lakes East standings. It's the game of the year. It's going to be awesome. Tune in for that. It's 7:30. Syracuse basketball won last night. Well, they'll be home again against number 6 Florida State at noon on Saturday, ESPN2, and that's really getting to the point where these are must-wins for Syracuse to even get on the NCAA tournament bubble. Hockey this weekend at Liner Rink in Ithaca. Cornell hosts Harvard on Friday and Dartmouth on Saturday. Puck drops at 7 for both games. And at the Cooler in Geneva is Hobart hosts Lebanon Valley on Friday and Stevenson on Saturday. Both games start at 7. I mean, if you haven't ever gone to a hockey games are fun to go to.
Sure.
So you can go to one in Geneva or Ithaca this weekend. Tiger Woods returns to action at the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines. He hasn't played a PGA Tour event in 522 days
Wowie.
since the 2015 Wyndham Championship, that 18-person tournament that the World Hero Challenge doesn't count. He's won 8 times at Torrey Pines. And, of course, the Super Bowl set.
Yeah.
Not this weekend, though. Next weekend we'll have to wait for the Falcons and the Patriots, and we'll have all the scores and sporting news throughout the weekend at fingerlakes1.com. And real quick, before we get out of here, our YouTube channel that we normally you all enjoy us on was suspended by YouTube. We believe it's a mistake. It's happened to a lot of other channels across the globe, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that they're going to unlock us shortly and we get back to normal. But we will continue to use Facebook streaming. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are just texting me saying they're watching right now.
Oh.
It's awesome.
Hi, people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. And
That's neat.
and one other thing, real quick, I wanted to let you know that I bought some Starburst.
Congratulations.
The candy.
I haven't bought Starburst in so long. It's just not something that I would normally be too excited about, but I did. And the Starburst is good, but it's the worst packaging ever. You ever try to unwrap a Starburst cube?
Oh, the individual
Yeah.
wrap.
Yeah, I mean, geez,
Try
I
his
just
nails.
want the Starburst. Yeah, right. I bite my nails. That's why.
It's like a Hershey's Kiss. It's the same concept.
Yeah.
It's harder though because it sticks, and sometimes the
It
wax
does.
paper sticks, and you end up chewing on wax paper in there. It's bad.
Take your time, Jim.
bad,
I
so
mean, I know
Pop it
they're
right in
good.
there.
Yeah,
Paper
but
and all.
In a hurry.
I try to take my time
In a
though,
hurry.
and halfway
Can't.
through, I start to get frustrated. I just want a tiny piece of candy. I don't want to.
They're all individually wrapped.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So other than that, but yeah, no, Starburst isn't even in my top 50 candies.
No.
they're
Not
pretty
in the
good.
top 50?
No.
Come
I
on.
defy you to write down 50 candies you like more. than
Next
Starburst.
week, well, we're off next week,
Well, now
but
you have time.
yeah,
Well, there you go.
In 2
I
weeks,
could come up with 50
we'll come
candies
up
off the top of my head,
Ooh.
Not
but
that you
we
like
don't
more than
have
Starburst.
time actually, Jess.
We
We
don't.
got to get going.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us for another edition of FLX Weekly. If you'd like to drop us a line, send an email to contact@fingerlakes1.com. If you enjoy our show, please share, tell your friends. We'll be back. Actually, we'll be taking the week off next week. So we'll be back the following week. It will be the Del Lago Casino grand opening day. So we'll see you soon. Have a great weekend.